Hey everybody, this is Bob Kovacs here at Wirefly with part 2 of our review on the Motorola DROID Bionic, a great new phone for the Verizon network. So without any further delay, let's get started with the rest of the review because there's a lot to cover. And then I did some video, so I went outside and it's absolutely pouring buckets, as I've mentioned, outside today, and I shot some video. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. It is a miserable, soggy day here in the Washington, D.C. area. We've had 4 days of drenching rains, lots of floods, but still here I am with the Motorola DROID Bionic and want to show you some video from it. This is all going to be very gray and dismal with a constant roar of the rain pattering on the canvas roof overhead. There's a canopy overhead, and so I'm going to shoot a little more video inside and we'll see what that looks like. That should be a little bit more colorful. In the meantime, out here in the daylight, as gray as it may be, it is very easy to see the screen on the DROID Bionic, and it actually looks pretty good on the screen considering what it is. Well, there you go. That's the video from outside. All things considered, I thought that the audio was pretty good. Now, it's so dreary outside that I thought perhaps that you would like to see something more fun. So every Friday we get donuts here at Wirefly, and so I shot some of the donuts. This should be more fun for you. Okay, it's Friday here at work, and on Friday we get this spread of donuts and bagels. Look at these. Yum, yum. And those are the donuts. Here are the bagels. Don't worry, I'm not seeing any people in this, just food. And these are really wonderful, one of the great perks of working here, and lots of things to spread on your bagels and on your donuts if you're that brave. So hopefully this will give a little bit of a look as to what video looks like from this camera. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how well the DROID Bionic can shoot a video in a dark situation. Now this is 1080p video, and 1080p video, believe it or not, is not the easiest thing to shoot, either on a cell phone or on a dedicated video camcorder. It's just, you know, that's a lot of pixels, it's a lot of data to move around. So I give the Motorola DROID Bionic and a couple of other phones now that can do 1080p video recording, I give them credit for being able to do it at all, because it just isn't that easy a thing to do. Before I get off the topic of photos, let's go to the camera here, and I want to go ahead and look at the gallery that I shot. And there's lots of options that you can get on this phone, and I'll discuss the options in just a moment. But this is a panorama I did here in the office, and it was very easy to do. I think this panorama is actually made up of 3 shots, but it was very easy to do. If you do a tap-tap, you can go in and see it more closely. Now, it's a little noisy. In fact, it's quite noisy, but all things considered, that makes for a pretty good picture. And although it's an 8 megapixel picture in the that the camera shoots, when you stitch together a panorama, you now have a picture that's much bigger than 8 megapixel. It's going to be the size of the number of shots that you've taken for your panorama. So I think that's pretty cool. If you want to brag, you can tell people you've got a 30 megapixel camera because you stitch together 5 8 megapixel stills from this. And of course there's going to be some overlap, and some of those are going to be thrown away, some of the pixels. But come down here and touch the mode, the scenes, and you've got a variety of different scenes. Now I went to different modes. You can adjust your resolutions here. I went to the modes here and I touched panorama. And for it to do panorama, you just touch the shutter on-screen button. That's right there. That's the diaphragm-looking button, the iris-looking button. And it asks you to move the camera, and when it does, it goes click, 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 and it takes your shots and stitches them together. So here we go. Now it's just stitched together 3 shots into a panorama, and there it is. There's that panorama that I just did. So I found that exceptionally easy to do and kind of fun. So this is an easy camera to take panorama shots with. Now the T-Mobile MyTouch 4G Slide also has a camera in it that T-Mobile has made a big deal about. that makes it easy to do stuff like that. I find it's actually easier in the Motorola DROID Bionic than it is in the MyTouch 4G Slide. So now I also have some benchmarks on this phone. Whoops, I did the wrong thing there. And let's go ahead and run Quadrant for you, and we'll get the results when I'm ready to wrap up here. When the Quadrant test is ready to wrap up, we'll bring up the results. Okay, Quadrant is about ready to wrap up, and we'll be able to get our scores in just a moment. Of course, I want to see the results. Okay, here we go. That is 2510, 2,510, which is a very good score. Now, that is typical of the scores of other high-performance dual-core phones. Now that I mentioned the term dual-core, let me say that it's my understanding that Quadrant only uses one of the cores in a dual-core phone, so you actually have more speed available in the phone that Quadrant can't really tap into. Now, 2510 is a very, very good score that's comparable, as I said, to other current high-performance dual-core phones. The Samsung Galaxy S2, of which I've only seen one, and that's the Sprint version called the Epic 4G Touch, that actually gets Quadrant results above 3,000. So that, at least in the Quadrant test, comes up with a higher score than the Motorola DROID Bionic. But you know, these have a lot of variables in them, and I don't want to automatically say that one phone is better than the other based on its Quadrant score, because that would be an unfair thing indeed. Okay, so I also like to run another test called SmartBench 2011, and let's go ahead and run SmartBench, and just like with Quadrant, I will come back and pick it up once the test is completed. This is the last of the tests here in SmartBench. And it's going to ask if I want the results, and of course I want the results. There we go, finally we can see the results. The DROID Bionic, now SmartBench has actually two scores. One's called the productivity score and the other is the game score, and SmartBench got 2739 for the productivity score. That's 2739. And for the game score, it's 2,489, 2489. So those are both very nice scores. Some other phones here got higher scores. They are generally phones that have been hot-rodded, that people have gotten into them and are overclocking them or whatever. So those are the scores there with Quadrant and SmartBench. A lot of people ask about the talk quality on a phone like this. I've made a couple of phone calls and the talk quality was average. I spoke to my wife and both she and I felt like it sounded like we both had marbles in our mouth a little bit. We could understand each other, we could recognize each other's voice, but I didn't think it was the crispest sound quality. That actually surprised me a little bit because I have other Motorola phones I've tested and used that have pretty darn good sound quality, voice quality for the phone, and I was surprised that this one didn't seem to be quite as good as those. It is at least average, but just not spectacular. One other thing that I want to do is demonstrate what it's like to play a game. I put Angry Birds on this, so we'll go ahead and do just a teeny bit of Angry Birds with the 540 by 960 screen on this. The colors and the resolution and the gameplay just really pops. It was a lot of fun, you know, and if you want to kill time, this is as good a thing to kill time with probably as anything else. I've turned down the sound, so let me see if I can turn it up a little bit and we'll get a little bit of sound. That's the ringer. So let me see if I can get the sound. No, I don't know how to get it, so we'll just go ahead and play a little bit and see what happens. And it looks like I'm going to miss. Oh, I got him. There you go. Okay, the gameplay on this is a lot of fun with its big screen and its high resolution, so that works out really well. And one other thing that I want to do is demonstrate a YouTube video. I thought I put the YouTube link on here. I don't see it. So let me get a YouTube video up and I'll demonstrate what the visual quality and sound quality is for a YouTube video. Okay, this is a performance of Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, and it was done by a local Washington, D.C. orchestra called the Radio King Orchestra, and they're singers called the Pin Curl Girls. They're very Andrews Sisters-like. And here we go with Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. Let me turn up the volume here. This is shot in HD. I shot it myself. And I got to tell you that both the sound and the picture on this phone are really excellent. A lot of fun. This was a great concert, and I have determined after playing a lot of different videos that the Droid Bionic is a very good phone for watching videos either off of YouTube or watching Netflix. I'm going to get out of this here, go back. Speaking of Netflix, you can load the Netflix app in the Droid Bionic. I thought I had loaded it in here. Actually, maybe it's here. I was able to get online, get in the Android market, and download the Netflix app. I no longer have Netflix streaming, so I can't demonstrate a streaming video from Netflix, but the Netflix app is available and will load on the Motorola DROID Bionic. It doesn't come preloaded with it, but you can easily download it. Anyway, that wraps up this review of the Motorola DROID Bionic. I think I've covered a lot of different things. I like this phone a lot. I would love to try some of its accessories, such as its web top dock. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to try that yet. This is a very powerful phone. It looks good, makes a great display, and I wish the reception, the sound quality was a little bit better on it. Other than that, I love the resolution. The camera is typical of good cell phone cameras. So this is a pretty nice device. Very easy to understand why people would want it. Anyway, this is Bob Kovacs here at Wirefly. Thanks for watching.